let's stop your scrolling habits, okay? This video is gonna be a no bullshit, actual practical advice filled, and it's gonna hopefully enlighten you, provide you with some extra information to help you stop scrolling. The first thing I want you to know is that scrolling comes from your brain seeking pleasure, okay? Your brain is seeking dopamine, it's addicted to dopamine and is addicted to pleasure. One of the easiest and fastest ways it can get pleasure is scrolling because it's constantly just a new hit of dopamine every 10 seconds. This means that in order for this video to actually work for you, to be effective for you, so if you actually want this video to help you out, you need to lock in, okay? So you need to full screen this video. Don't go through the comments, don't go through the suggested videos, don't do anything else. Focus purely on just me and this video, and that's the only way it's gonna help you. One thing I want you to understand is that simply by watching this video and not getting distracted like you usually would, so not going to check the comments like you usually would, full screening this and just purely focusing on this, even though it's gonna be hard and it's gonna be a little boring, simply by doing this, you're already taking the first step to stopping scrolling. Because you're already fighting these urges, the urges that are telling you to seek the next hit of dopamine, which, as we established, is the root cause of why you scroll. Okay, so by now, I have your full attention. Let's actually get into the first thing. So the first thing I want to talk about, it's already been kind of established. Scrolling arrives from a lack of attention span, okay? You can't focus, and your brain is always seeking the new hit of dopamine. Your brain always wants something new, which is why scrolling is such like an effective, like, brainwashing tactic on you. The second thing is lack of willpower, okay? You have a lack of willpower to resist the urges to go scroll, to resist the urge to find that new hit of dopamine. So these two things kind of like balance each other. Even if you have a lot of urges, but if you have more willpower, you can sort of like suppress these. If you have little urges, but you also have no willpower, you'll still listen to the urges. Luckily, there's one thing you can do that solves both of these problems. It's literally a kill two birds with one stone type thing. That's just meditation, okay? If you meditate, it's going to not only improve your attention span, but also improve your willpower and your discipline along with it. Okay, so it's like a 2 for 2. And I know it'll sound weird, right? You're probably thinking like, oh, meditation, that's like what the fucking monks do and shit in like the mountains. That's like some Tibetan monk type shit. But I promise you, meditation is like the single highest ROI habit you could ever do for yourself. I have a whole video on it, but give you a rundown. It's just mindfulness meditation where you focus on the breath. Let's just do a quick meditation session right now so you kind of know, what you to expect. So close your eyes, be comfortable. And remember, like I remind you, this video is only going to work for you if you actually like listen to me and you're actually like focused on what I'm saying, okay? So close your eyes, sit up straight, and just be mindful right now. So when you're breathing, just focus on your breath, okay? Hyper focus on your breath right now. And what's going to happen is you're going to notice that you're going to, over time, gradually lose your focus on breath. Your brain is going to start focusing on something else. When this happens, I want you to bring your focus back to your breath. So realize that you were thinking about something else, some like dumb thing that maybe happened during your day, and then just bring it back to your breath. And every single time you bring it back to your breath, that's like one, bicep curl for your brain. It's like doing one exercise for your brain. Okay, good. So yeah, that's just like a little taste of meditation. If you want more, I highly recommend an app called Medito. It's available on your phone or on computer. You can just search up Medito, Medito, and it's a free resource. They've got tons of resources all about mindfulness meditation. Again, meditation is the single best habit you can do to stop scrolling. It's going to both increase your attention span and increase your willpower. So it's like a 2 for 1 double whammy. The next concept I want to talk about is that scrolling is tied to other habits. So scrolling is not something that exists in like a vacuum. It's not just scrolling, okay? Scrolling is usually tied to other things you do throughout the day or other feelings you have throughout the day. So for me, my scrolling habit was tied to my like bed habit, okay? So I would always lie down on my bed just because I was tired throughout the day, or I'd have an afternoon crash. And because I'm lying down on my bed and my phone is right there, it makes it so easy to just pick up my phone and start scrolling. Now, everyone's scrolling habit might be tied to different things. It might be tied to the fact that like you're tired sometimes, right? But I just want you to identify what your scrolling habit is tied to. Because then if you remove this like initial other trigger, it helps diminish the amount of time you scroll. So for example, one thing I implemented is I said that during the day, I'm not allowed to go on any beds, okay? Because otherwise I'm gonna feel like tired. I'm gonna just keep lying there and wasting time. And since the bed is the place where 90% of my scrolling happens, that automatically cuts out like 90% of the scrolling I do throughout my day. This takes a little bit of work. I can't like just tell you what it's tied to, obviously, because it's personalized, right? But I just want you to do some deep thinking about what your scrolling could possibly be tied to and how you can eliminate that other habit to in turn eliminate your scrolling. The next one is very practical. One thing that I did that was super helpful is I want you to separate the urge from the action. So when you catch yourself about to open your phone to scroll, which by the way, meditation is the thing that helps you catch yourself more often in these situations. But when you catch yourself doing that, I want you to put your phone down and just say, okay, I'm allowed to scroll. I feel the urge to scroll right now. I want to scroll, but I'm only allowed 5 minutes later. So set a 5-minute timer or just wait a little bit. This is really important because what happens is you in that 5 minutes, you're probably going to do something else, right? Let's say you're doing work and you got the urge. You're just going to go back to doing work. What's going to happen is that urge is going to go away. And after that 5 minutes is over, you're going to find that you didn't end up scrolling at all. It also sets a really good precedent to separate your like urge, your feelings from your actions. So this is an active way of also training your willpower. So every single time you feel the urge to go scroll, use a little bit of your willpower to just say, no, I can't do this. I have to wait at least 5 minutes and then I'm allowed to scroll. I'm allowed to do whatever. And you'll find that more often than not, you're going to just continue going, like doing your task that you were doing earlier. And it's going to prevent you from scrolling more often in the future because your brain no longer associates like this quick hit of dopamine with like grabbing your phone. So it also removes this association and this trigger. The last thing I want to talk about is that scrolling is kind of in a cycle. So when you try to stop scrolling, what's going to happen is you're going to be more bored more often, right? Because you don't have this hyper stimulating thing in your life. You're going to be more bored and you're also just going to have more time throughout your day. The thing about boredom is while it's good for you, boredom is good for you, right? If it's not like a purposeful boredom meditation or anything else, what happens is a lot of your urges rise up. So you get the urge to scroll often if you're just bored and doing nothing. So this is like what happened to me. I first started like this journey to stop scrolling like a couple years ago, right? When I started self-improvement. And I did like cut down on my scrolling, but one of the main things that happened was I just ended up being more bored. And when I was more bored, I would have more urges, and when I have more urges, that would drain more of my willpower, and eventually I just end up scrolling anyways. So what I want you to do is you're going to stop scrolling after doing some of the things you already did in this video. You're going to scroll less, and you need to fill up that empty space with something that's very purposeful but still kind of like fun for you. Okay, so if you're, obviously this doesn't apply if you're a really busy person, you got like school, you got like work or some shit, just go do that stuff, right? But if you're anything like younger version of me who had like a lot of time on his hands, so if you stop scrolling, you just have like this empty void time that you're not doing anything, you need to go find your passion or whatever you want to work on, like a hobby or something, and just fill up that empty time. Because if you don't fill up that empty time and you're just like fucking existing in a limbo, the urges are just going to keep like hammering and dicking you down until you eventually give in. So for me, I guess one thing that fills up my empty time is just YouTube, right? Or like reading. So if I'm ever really bored, I'll just be like, okay, if I stay in this state of boredom, I will inevitably end up scrolling because these urges are just going to keep hitting me. I'm just going to go read. Or, okay, I feel really bored right now. They're going to keep hitting me. I'm going to go script some YouTube videos. So yeah, that's basically the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully some of the stuff I talked about was applicable to your life and will help you stop your scrolling habit. Trust me, I know it fucking sucks. Like I've been there, like scrolling for like 6 hours a day is like makes you feel like fucking miserable. But like there is light at the end of the tunnel. So just keep going, keep pushing, and eventually you're going to get it. That being said, that being said, I'm freaking done the video. I'm trying to like do a proper conclusion here, but I don't really have anything else to say. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. You can go watch some of my other videos. I have a video on how to increase your attention span that's like similar line as this one. Bye bye.